December 25, 2024. While the British royal family gathered at Sandringham for their traditional Christmas celebrations, Sarah Ferguson and Prince Andrew sat alone at Royal Lodge, 130 miles away in Windsor. Their daughters didn't come. Princess Beatrice joined King Charles and the rest of the family at Sandringham. Princess Eugenie spent Christmas with her in-laws for the first time. Even King Charles was reportedly sad that Fergie wasn't there. 1 month later, Fergie is packing her bags and fleeing to Portugal. This is the story of how Fergie went from royal Christmas exile to international escape, and why her daughters are terrified she's headed for a breakdown.
When I went up that aisle, I married my man. I also married a sailor, and I got a prince. But my man was the most important thing for me, Piers, because nothing was more important than him.
Let's start with Christmas. For decades, Fergie was banned from royal Christmas celebrations. After her divorce from Andrew in 1996, she wasn't invited to Sandringham. The royal family made it clear she wasn't welcome. For years, she spent Christmas at Wood Farm, a 5-bedroom house on the Sandringham estate. Beatrice and Eugenie would have lunch with Queen Elizabeth at the main house, then walk down to Wood Farm to see their mother before returning to play charades with the Queen. Fergie was close enough to see her daughters but far enough to stay out of sight.
Very few people outside of the royal family have ever experienced that moment when you look out and there's 1 million people and you know there's probably 1 billion watching around the world on television. What's that moment like?
Let me go back in time. You are taken with such a wave of energy that it is just mesmeric. It is just extraordinary, and you're so in love anyway. It's your wedding day. Like every bride's wedding day, it's a special day.
That changed after Queen Elizabeth died in 2022. In December 2023, Fergie was invited to join the family at Sandringham for Christmas for the first time in decades. She attended church with them on Christmas morning. It was a huge deal. Royal commentators called it her redemption. King Charles had welcomed her back into the fold. Then came Easter 2024. Fergie attended the Easter Sunday service at St. George's Chapel in Windsor with the family. It looked like she was finally being accepted again.
That he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming, yes.
Unbecoming? He was a sex offender.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being polite.
But 2024 was different. 2 weeks before Christmas, news broke that Andrew had been connected to an alleged Chinese spy named Yang Tenghua. Tenghua had been banned from the UK on national security grounds.
A Chinese businessman described as a close confidant of the Duke of York has lost his appeal against a decision to bar him from entering the UK on national security grounds. The Home Office said they believe the man, known only as H6, was engaged in covert activity for the Chinese Communist Party.
He was described as a close confidant of Andrew and had attended events at royal residences. The scandal exploded. Andrew was humiliated. King Charles was furious, and sources told the press that the king wanted Andrew and Fergie to remain invisible at future family events. According to royal insiders, Fergie talked Andrew into skipping Christmas at Sandringham. She convinced him to honorably withdraw so he wouldn't be a distraction. Andrew agreed. They would spend Christmas alone at Royal Lodge. No family, no guests, just the two of them and the Queen's corgis, Newick and Sandy.
Yes, it's a terrible loss. My father said to me on the telephone a few months ago that we're all in the same boat.
Beatrice had originally planned to spend Christmas abroad with her husband Edoardo Mapelli Mazzi and his family, but she changed her plans at the last minute. She's pregnant with her second child, and her doctors advised her not to travel long distances. So instead of going abroad or staying with her parents, Beatrice went to Sandringham. She chose the royal family over her own parents. That had to sting. Eugenie had made her decision months earlier. She and her husband Jack Brooksbank planned to spend Christmas with Jack's widowed mother Nicola in Hampshire. It was the first time Eugenie would spend Christmas with her in-laws instead of with her parents or the royal family. Eugenie didn't even consider going to Royal Lodge. So on Christmas Day 2024, Fergie and Andrew sat alone in a 30-room mansion. Beatrice was at Sandringham with King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, Kate Middleton, and the rest of the family. Eugenie was 50 miles away in Hampshire. Neither daughter came to see their parents. Royal biographer Jenny Bond told OK Magazine that King Charles was likely sad that Fergie wasn't at Sandringham. I think the king has a soft spot for Fergie, especially after their shared cancer experience. Bonds said. She always brings a spot of fun to proceedings, so he will probably be a little sad that she will now stay away from Sandringham to stand shoulder to shoulder with her ex.
He was saying goodbye too. Do you think he knew what you were going to be immersed in?
He had a much better idea than I did, I think. He was in it all his life, you know, working with the Prince of Wales for 38 years.
But standing shoulder to shoulder with Andrew on Christmas was just the beginning of Fergie's problems. On October 30th, 2025, King Charles had formally stripped Andrew of all his titles and served him with an eviction notice. Andrew had to leave Royal Lodge. He would be moving to a property on the Sandringham estate. Fergie was told she had to find her own accommodations. Charles wasn't paying for her housing. She was on her own.
Every day, somebody writes absolutely diabolical things about me, but I know that's not me.
The eviction deadline was set for January 31st, 2026. That gave them 3 months to pack up 20 years' worth of belongings and figure out where to go. Andrew's move was sorted. Charles was putting him in a cottage on the Sandringham estate and covering his costs. But Fergie had nothing. She couldn't afford to buy a house. She'd been living rent-free at Royal Lodge since 2008. Her income sources had dried up. Her latest children's book had been withdrawn from sale. A lifestyle app she'd backed with taxpayer money had collapsed without ever launching a product. A cryptocurrency company that paid her £1.4 million as a brand ambassador had failed. Sources told Radar Online that Fergie was on a desperate hunt for a wealthy suitor to help her maintain the lifestyle she was used to. Friends said she was panicking about money. One friend told the outlet, "Sarah's always been a survivor, but this time she's genuinely scared."
In the last minute or so from Buckingham Palace, His Majesty the King has today initiated a formal process to remove the style, titles and honours
Prince and his style of His Royal Highness.
And let's get some more news on that breaking news this evening. Buckingham Palace has announced
that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming. Yes.
Unbecoming. He was a sex offender.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being polite.
By mid-November 2025, reports emerged that Fergie had found a solution. She would be moving to Portugal in January 2026. Princess Eugenie and her husband Jack own a £3.6 million villa in the Costa Terra Golf and Ocean Club, a luxury gated community between the villages of Milides and Comporta, about an hour south of Lisbon. The area is known as the Hamptons of Europe. It's where celebrities and Hollywood stars buy oceanfront properties. Eugenie and Jack had been preparing a grand suite in their villa for Fergie's arrival. A wealthy neighbor told the Daily Express, "The word here is that Fergie will be arriving sometime in January. How long she'll stay is anyone's guess, but if it's a long-term move, I can guarantee she'll fit well into the social scene." Scores of celebrities and Hollywood stars have been snapping up properties in the area. But Fergie's daughters are worried. Sources told Radar Online in November that Beatrice and Eugenie believe their mother is headed for a dangerous downward spiral. One insider said, "She's become very fragile and emotional. Some nights she talks about everything she's lost, her place in the family, her home, her direction in life. She's terrified of ending up with nothing, and those close to her are afraid she might reach a breaking point." The daughters have been encouraging Fergie to ease up on the drinking. The insider said, "The girls are deeply concerned. They're constantly checking in, urging her to ease up on the drinking and take care of herself. They've even reached out to other relatives to make sure someone's always looking out for her." Fergie has also been dealing with serious health issues. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in June 2023 and had a mastectomy. In January 2024, she was diagnosed with malignant melanoma, a type. In April 2025, she said the double death sentence. On December 31st, 2024, Fergie posted a video from Austria. She'd left Royal Lodge and flown to Altaussee for New Year's. In the video, she stood outside in -7-degree weather and said, "Let's make joy bubbles, really embrace the love, and always turn to joy." She looked exhausted. As of early January 2026, Fergie is still house hunting. Her representative said, "She is assessing a number of options currently, and no final decision has been made." But sources close to the situation say Portugal is the most likely outcome. Fergie can't afford to stay in the UK. She has no income, no home, and no support from the royal family. Moving to Portugal with Eugenie is her best option. Andrew invited her to join him at Sandringham, but Fergie said no. She wants to be near her grandchildren in London, not stuck in Norfolk with Andrew. so Fergie spent Christmas alone with Andrew at Royal Lodge while the rest of the family celebrated without them. Now she's fleeing to Portugal to live with her daughter in a luxury villa, trying to outrun the scandal, the debt, and the fear that she's lost everything. Whether Portugal will be her salvation or just another temporary escape is anyone's guess. But one thing is clear: Fergie's Christmas exile was just the beginning of a much bigger fall from grace. If you're obsessed with royal drama like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Crown Chaos for all the shocking stories the royals don't want you to know. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And drop a comment below. Do you think Fergie deserves sympathy, or is she reaping what she sowed? Let us know your thoughts.